Well, now looks like the internet done cooked up another one. Got me out here tearing into a deer leg like I'm starring in some bargain bin horror movie called Sasquatch is Like Us. Meanwhile, here's what I actually had for supper. Blackberries, hickory nuts, beans, sweet potatoes, onions, garlic, carrots.
Peas, mushrooms, broccoli, tomatoes, cauliflower, tofu, squash, whole grains, amaranth, sorghum, buckwheat.
Off the floor of the land, same as we always had. The forest's always been the human and Bigfoot buffet. And truth be told, just paid attention. We knew we weren't wolves, knew we weren't lions, sure as hell knew we weren't grizzly bears. Cousin humans were both members of what family again? Great apes. Humans share around 98% of your DNA with chimpanzees. And what do gorillas and chimps
primarily eat? Plants, leaves, shoots, fruit, tubers. Now where I come from, ignore any of that basic biological
truth, obnoxious ignorance. And while we're at it, where exactly do y'all think protein comes from? Folks talk like it magically appears in a steak. Truth is, every bit of protein started in plants. The cow ate plants.
The gorilla ate plants. The protein got built there first. We're all just borrowing in it farther down the line. Ain't exactly a mystery.
Does a gorilla look protein deficient to y'all? Because from where I'm standing, they seem to have worked that problem out pretty well. Great. Funny thing about humans, every creature y'all imagine eventually starts looking as suspiciously like yourselves.
Meaner than necessary. Hungrier than necessary.
Always consuming it, always taking more than you need, chasing appetites and addictions with enough.
Folks, if Bigfoot eats meat, then maybe humans ain't so strange.
And once that's normalized, it becomes mighty easy to justify horrors like factory farming. After all,
blood pressure pills, bypass surgeries, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, cancers, premature death. Humans done spent fortunes studying old problems plants keep helping prevent.
Take them studies on the blue zones, places where people live to over 100 on average, small regions all over the world. Dan Buettner, 2005.
Roughly 95% plant foods by intake. That pattern keeps showing up over and over again.
Okinawa, Loma Linda, Sardinia, Nicoya, Icaria, different continents, different languages. Mighty similar grocery lists though.
Then you got the Adventist research. The Adventist Health Study 2, launched in 2002 and publishing findings through the 2000s and 2010s.
Then along comes the Stanford Twin Research, the 2023 study called Cardiometabolic Effects of Omnivorous versus Vegan Diets.
60 years and thousands of studies on millions of folks proves one thing. Eating mostly plants keeps you living much longer and healthier. Meanwhile, animal products, meat, chicken, fish, dairy, are soaked in inflammation causers like saturated fat, cholesterol, and hormones.
All those nasty forever chemicals in animal products are driving our biggest killers: obesity, diabetes, cancer, and heart disease.
Plants have complete protein, healthy fats, minerals, carbs, the preferred and most efficient source of energy for all great apes.
Then there's antioxidants, polyphenols, phytochemicals, vitamins, minerals, whole armies of compounds folks barely think about.
That's the strange thing about humanity. Discovering truth, then got offended when they answered honestly.
So let me make sure I'm understanding this right. Humans invented the measuring stick, performed the measurements, then argued with the answer.
Back in the day, it took over 7,000 scientific studies before the 1964 Surgeon General finally admitted smoking kills.
How many more thousands of studies until your government
puts warning labels, stops subsidizing, and heavily taxes animal products?
Today, the One World Critter Coalition and the Whole World Kin Council have banded together to defend the humans from themselves.
The legal team, helmed by Taggart S. Cougar, has started a lawsuit against the human government suits who play it safe and fill their pockets.
With billions of your own tax dollars, pumping them into subsidizing their big animal ag buddies that are making you sick.
Try to find a fruit or vegetable subsidy? Good luck. The green good life preserving stuff gets about 1% of the help. Then, when you inevitably break down from their toxic menu, they pass the medical bill right back to you. To top it all off, the system gaslights you. They look a sick nation and blame you for a lack of willpower.
They let their billionaire buddies in Big Pharma take the rest of your hard-earned cash to treat symptoms animal ag created.
They blame your impulse control while they rake in billions off the cover-up.
Your diet is the absolute biggest controllable factor to a better life. It's your choice, not theirs.
Now we done wandered squarely into ethics. Because if the harm ain't necessary, why keep doing it? Not profitable, not tradition.
Not convenience. Because there's a mighty big difference between something being familiar and something being justified.
And if the science keeps pointing in one direction, while the ethics keep pointing that same way, a reasonable person might ask.
Folks wonder why they don't see us anymore. Truth is, we done seen enough. Done showed us how humans treat the natural world.
We got nervous around humans a good long while ago. Wasn't your appearance? Wasn't how you looked. Wasn't where you lived. It was the disposition you put nature into. That habit of treating every living thing as something that exists mainly to be used. See, a bear will hurt you if he's hungry. A cougar will hurt you if he's cornered. But humans?
Humans will build trillion-dollar industries around, doing nothing but harm to themselves, the planet, and their animal neighbors.
Then wrap the whole thing up in shiny advertising, selling it as cool and masculine instead of profitable animal cruelty and a public health crisis. Now, I seen that Wisconsin business with them beagle pups. Sweet little things. Born trusting A. That's what makes it sit so heavy. Humans specifically breed dogs to love them, to trust them. Then some wind up spinning in their lives in fluorescent rooms.
It ain't disposable just because somebody stamped research model on the paperwork 50 years ago.
Toxicologist Thomas Hartung argued the whole animal testing framework was scientifically outdated.
And the oceans? Lord, folks done figured out how to industrialize fishing us so thoroughly the seas hardly get a breather anymore.
Industrial trawlers scrape the seafloor clean like somebody dragging a rake through the world's flower bed and calling it stewardship.
Then there's ghost nets. Fishing gear folks abandon that keeps on killing millions every year, long after everybody done sailed home.
Whales, turtles, birds, fish, creatures meet equipment abandoned by fishing trawlers all over the world. FAO assessments in 2022 estimated more than a third of global fish stocks already sit overfished. That ain't exactly comforting math.
FAO reports and World Resources Institute estimates keep pointing it toward cattle expansion playing 70 to 80% of Amazon deforestation.
Turns out one of the quickest ways to erase a rainforest is replacing biodiversity with pasture and calling it progress.
So now the oceans got less life in them. The forests got more silence in them. Humanity done industrialized extinction.
Yet folks still defend animal products like sacred heirlooms of human culture and identity, without which you couldn't exist. Cruelty equals human? A pig values comfort, a cow avoids pain, chickens build friendships, animals keep demonstrating they're somebody, not merely something.
And if humans really pride themselves on compassion, intelligence, and progress, then actions ought to eventually catch up with the slogans.
Humans done changed behaviors before. Quit lead paint, reduce smoking, added seatbelts. Societies adapt when evidence piles high enough. Most social movements looked inconvenient or unrealistic right up until society adjusted and wondered why it took so long in the first place.
And if enough folks change together, industries that once looked permanent suddenly start looking mighty temporary. And for all the jokes folks make about vegans, it's mighty strange mocking people for trying to reduce harm where they reasonably can.
Factory farms don't happen because cows volunteered. Slaughterhouses ain't crowded because pigs filled out applications. No one gave you permission.
So maybe progress ain't merely building faster machines. Maybe it's learning when not to use power simply because you can. One day, folks will look back at industrial animal agriculture the way they now look at other practices once defended.
Your choices deserve scrutiny, especially when another living creature pays the bill for them and nobody benefits.
Stop the cruelty. It's a win-win.
Forests down, oceans thinning, build new escape routes while tearing up the homestead. That's some mighty great use of your big brains, intelligence. Y'all figured out how to leave Earth. Still working on figuring out how to belong to it without exploiting every living thing in sight.